FitIntent Nation, is day 4 of the FitIntent Challenge, and I sent out some new numbers today. So I did modify some of your numbers. Some of you have got modified numbers. I changed them a little bit because, well, some of you have done the challenge before and you're used to a little more protein. So I did increase your protein for some of you. So do check those new numbers. I also included calories. Okay, so everybody should have all their calories. Their daily calories, that is. And if you haven't booked your scan, I still have about a handful of people who have not booked their scan yet. You need to book your scan ASAP. We're getting well into week number 1, so you need to get in that scan as soon as possible so I can get your numbers to you. Okay? All right. I'm going to get right into some questions because I am backlogged with questions, okay? So let's just get right into it. Somebody wrote me and said, listen, isn't it bad to have more than 1 to 2 eggs per day? Whole eggs, this is. And they're fearful of doing this because they think that their cholesterol will be negatively affected. So the reality is that dietary cholesterol does not affect your cholesterol in your body. In fact, it's not even the cholesterol in your body that you're actually concerned with. It's actually your cholesterol carriers, your HDL and LDL. These are actually proteins that carry around cholesterol in the body. Okay? Now, these are the things that are supposedly affected by cholesterol, but they're not. And there is zero evidence of this, okay? Just like protein doesn't put muscle on you, okay? And just like dietary fat does not put fat on you, okay? It can put fat on you, but in and of itself does not put fat on you, okay? So there is no issue with it. The only issue that you might have with eggs is potentially, if you have too many, is they can cause an allergic response in some people at certain amounts over time. Okay, I am one of those people. Okay, I had tons of eggs in my diet for many, many years. Cholesterol carriers were fine. I know this because I get my cholesterol carriers checked among many other blood markers on a regular basis. But I did develop a skin rash after years and years and years of many eggs, and then when I reduced my egg intake, actually I cut them out, the rash went away. So there can be an allergic response to eggs. They're known for that, by the way. Okay, I'm not just saying that because I had it. They're known for that. That's the only thing. If you actually have poor cholesterol, if your LDL is high, eggs would actually be something you would want to incorporate into your diet because they're high in lecithin and they're high in things like omega-3 fatty acids, especially if they're like a chicken that's fed its natural diet. And these are going to help to reduce your LDL. Okay, so don't be fearful of eggs. All right. Unless, of course, you have some sort of allergic reaction to it. By the way, I have eggs back in my diet. I haven't got the allergic reaction. I'm not eating as many per day, but I'm still eating, quite a bit of egg white and egg in my diet. All right, now, people are asking about this. Because they want to know I had a number of questions on this, so I am going to try to make this as simple as possible. So when we talk about, let's just start from the top down, okay? So when we talk about total body water, this is the total amount of water in your body. Our bodies are a large percentage of water. And this varies from individual to individual because some people have more fat than other people. And fat is almost water-free. There is no real water in fatty tissue. However, there is fat in your other tissues of your body, okay? So when we look at muscle, for instance, muscle is it's roughly 75 to 80% water, okay? The rest of it is basically just protein. It's tissue. That tissue is actually protein with a little bit of fat in there too, okay? And so when we're looking at dry lean mass, we're looking at the actual tissue and they're separating the water. Why do they give us this? What is the purpose? I'm not sure. I wouldn't use it. Maybe it's used for some purpose. I don't know. Okay, but they do give you that estimation of the difference between that dry lean mass and that water mass. Okay, so again, if we look at a muscle, let's just take that tissue for instance. We've got different tissues in the body, but if we take skeletal muscle tissue, it's mainly about 75 to 80% water. Okay, the rest is, like I said, is actual tissue. Okay. All right. The body fat mass is the total fat on your body. That is the estimation of the actual total fat that's in your body. Okay? And of course, well, you know the weight is your weight. And if you add up those three numbers, you take your total body water, your dry lean mass, and your body fat mass, you add those three, you're going to get your body weight just below that. Okay? All right. Now let's go off to the right here where it says body fat, lean mass, lean body mass control. So this is what the machine recommends to you, okay? All right, which is in kind of a way it's just arbitrary, right? Like I don't care what the machine says to me if I'm trying to get ready for a bodybuilding show. It's irrelevant, right? I don't care. So it really depends on, you know, what we're trying to achieve here. So this is given probably on the basis of like a one size fits all what's going to be healthy for you, which varies from individual to individual. Okay, so for example, it says body fat mass, and maybe it says, I don't know, minus 20 pounds on there, okay? So it wants you to try to lose 20 pounds of fat in order to be in that healthy range, okay? Same with lean body mass. It might say, you know, it wants you to say, it might say plus 3 pounds, okay? So it wants you to, it's recommending that you gain 3 pounds of lean muscle mass, okay? All right, let's go down into the muscle fat analysis. How are we doing for time here? Geez, I'm already at 6.5 minutes. I may have to break this explanation up a little bit. So we've got your weight there, we've got the skeletal muscle mass. So this is the amount of muscle, this is the amount of skeletal muscle. So this is estimating your skeletal muscle mass. So, you know, not every muscle in your body is skeletal based, right? You have, you know, muscle in your intestines, you have muscle, your heart is a muscle, right? So, but we're talking about the musculature that allows us to move around, okay? So you actually have more muscle mass than what it says, but that is what it estimates your skeletal muscle mass as, okay? Your body fat mass, well, we already went through that. That is the amount of fat that's on your body, all right? All right, and now we're looking at the bars, right? We've got two different bars. So basically there is, again, this is a bit arbitrary, but it gives you, there's that big thick bar at the top, which has got an arrow down and a little minus sign and then an arrow up. So these are the segments of where they recommend that you should be, okay? So if your line ends in that little minus, you're kind of in a safe zone, okay? If you're where the arrow is down, it's going to tell you you need to increase. And if you're where the arrow is up, that means you need to decrease that, okay? All right, so hopefully that makes sense to you. And the percentages here, these are percentages of how you compare to others that are of your gender and your age, okay, and height. All right, so there's a database in that machine. It probably houses God knows how many people, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, and that just is a percentage of where you sit. So for example, if your skeletal muscle mass is sitting, if that bar on the skeletal muscle mass is sitting at, this person here has 108%. So this person has, I don't want to give away the age or anything here, so I'm not going to give any stats on this person, but this person has 108% of the average of her age and height. Okay, so we see the little percentages down below there. Okay, so the percentages are based, are you versus, you know, other people of your age, gender, and height, and the big bars on top are like where in general you ought to be. They say you should be, okay? They, the makers of InBody, okay? Which they probably get this information from some sort of medical authority, okay? Or medical board. All right, body mass index. So that is what you weigh in kilograms divided by meters squared. This is just, okay, so body mass index came from, it's like from the 1920s. Insurance companies used to use it to basically assess risk on, you know, handing out life insurance to people. So basically, if your body mass index was higher, you were at a greater risk, and they would either, you know, you'd have to pay oodles of money to get insurance, or you didn't get insurance at all. Okay, that's where body mass index comes from. I mean, it's not I used to think it was useless. I'd be like, that's a useless measure, but because it doesn't take in consideration what your body's made of, right? Like I'm like a class 5 obese person, okay? Even when I'm in contest shape, I'm like a class 5 obese person. But that doesn't tell us, it doesn't tell us, sorry, I lost my train of thought. For the average person, if you have a high BMI, it means you're probably holding a lot of body fat. Okay, so that's where it becomes useful. Most likely, but again, it doesn't tell us the whole story. Okay? And then the body fat percentage, that is the percent of fat that you have on your body versus the rest of the mass of the body. Your organs, your water, your dry lean tissue, okay? All right, guys, I'm at 10 minutes here, so I'll talk a little bit about the rest, but I almost got through the whole thing, okay? Here's the message of the day. Message of the day is, if it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me, all right? So if it is going to be, it's up to you, all right? But the point is personal responsibility. At the end of the day, it's personal responsibility. I still struggle with this, especially when things aren't going the way that I want them to be necessarily. I always remind myself, don't be a baby about it. Don't blame it on anybody else, but blame it on yourself, because ultimately, if you take responsibility for it, you can change it. If you don't take responsibility for it, you will never change it. I can guarantee you that. It will never change. So always take responsibility for as much as you can. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm just telling. I basically just told you I'm not. Obviously, I'm not. Nobody is. But you need to make sure that you take personal responsibility for your actions, and you will be able to, resolve whatever issues you're having much quicker. Okay, so just remember that. So if it is to be, it's up to me. All right, you need to take initiative and action and make things happen. You need to take initiative, action, and make things happen. All right, so this is really, really important, and it's a good reminder, especially if you ever maybe you're feeling sorry for yourself. I think it all happens to each and every one of us at some point. All right, so take initiative. You're going to be a much happier person, because you can take control, and things will happen as you would like them to be. Okay, hopefully, most likely. Okay. All right, that's it. Submit, commit, guys. I'll talk to you all soon. If you haven't book your scan with me. All right, as soon as possible. Keep a positive mindset, you guys. Always give gratitude, and this isn't most importantly, but it is very important. You got to believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Nobody else is going to believe in you. We'll talk to you all soon, okay? See you guys. Come on, clicker.